the team is run on who I think is the best player in the league right now. And I actually
Yeah.
don't even think there's much of a argument against it.
No.
Nikola Jokic right now, 26 points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, 9.2 assists. And this is from somebody who could not care less about his stats. And when you watch him play, you can tell he's not going for these stats. It's just he's so efficient. And I don't mean just in the shooting aspect of it, even though he's 58% from the field right now, 35 from three, 82 from the free throw line. But it's you rarely see somebody make the correct decision on every single play or just about every single play. And it's not just stuff that's right in front of them. It's not a lot of players will just run the play. And if it's to this guy, it'll go to this guy. You'll see Nikola Jokic run an inverted pick and roll on the, let's say, right wing. And he'll just fling it to the left corner to somebody who's wide open. And the crazy part about it is all his teammates, because I've seen interviews a lot this week, they all just know they're getting the ball.
Yeah.
Like it's different. Like most players, like let's say a big, for example, like, to reward the big thing, they're running the floor, he'll get the ball. Nikola Jokic's teammates just know they're getting the ball. And he trusts them, whether they're cold right now, he's just this incredible decision maker.
Dude, and you mentioned his decision making, career low turnover percentage, 12.8 percentage of turnovers. Like that's crazy. He's getting better. Like last year, he shot a career high 70% true shooting percentage. No wonder they won the championship. He's just a machine. I've never seen any and we don't talk enough about the murderer's row of defenders, like bigs he went through to win the champion. He went through Gobert, Anthony Davis, and Bam, and really didn't get slowed down by any of them. They all did their best. They tried to mix up coverages. They threw their bigs as help side defenders, and it wasn't a problem. Like he's just insanely good. And you talked about his teammates knowing that they'll get the ball. It makes everything flow. Like when if I set a good screen and I make the right read, like I'm gonna get the ball if I'm open. And that just makes everything easier. Like you guys are gonna be more willing screeners, more willing cutters. They're one of the best cutting teams, screening teams in the league, and it's so damn hard to defend them because they also have a ton of size and versatility. Yeah. You get Aaron Gordon mismatched on a small guy, he's gonna bully him and abuse him. Right. Jokic is gonna abuse anybody who guards him. Jamal Murray is a handful. KCP can shoot the three, good cutter, can finish. Michael Porter Jr., if he catches that shit's going up. And he's 6'10", and he's an elite shooter. Like I don't know how you slow them down. They're insane.
It's impossible to scout them.
No,
because a lot of times, and we heard it a lot in the playoffs last year, just make Jokic a scorer. All right, he's gonna get 50. And at some point, you're gonna have to bring the double anyway. And like we said, he's gonna make the correct decision every time. And to your point of guys being more willing screeners and more willing cutters, it's so difficult to stay that engaged when you've come down 3 or 4 times and you haven't touched the ball and you're not touching the ball. You're not in this action, so this player is just not going to see you, or this player is trying to get his point, so he's not going to pass it to you or whatever. With Nikola Jokic, none of that exists. You can be the worst player on the team. He's going to look for you. He's going to find you. And like I said, all his teammates have already said, and Thomas Bryant specifically said, you can miss 10 shots in a row. Nikola Jokic is going to be right there looking for you for the 11th. And fully believe you're going to knock the 11th one down. And so, man, it's just that's impossible to guard. And so that's how they could end up being an outlier and winning a championship without having that great of a defense, because you just can't compete with that offense. You can't compete with that offense. And then even still, they do have the defenders. Peyton Watson, I think, one day is going to be on an all-defensive team. I don't know if it's first or second. He makes little mistakes here and there because he's young, but he's an incredible defender.
Yeah.
Incredible defender. Christian Brown, also giving him credit as a defender. Aaron Gordon, we know what he does defensively. KCP, we know what he does defensively. They have the defenders to be able to still sustain. It's just like Jamal Murray might not be great. I think Nikola Jokic, his reputation as a defender is a lot worse than his actual play as a defender.
Yeah.
He's actually a good defender in my eyes. I think it's just that a lot of times, we've mentioned this on the show before too, people's idea of a great defender now is the being able to guard 1 through 5, and that's still rare today. You don't. I think people only expect. I don't know why the expectation is for 7-footers to be able to do that, but within a team concept, Nikola Jokic uses his, because offensive IQ and defensive IQ, you have to know what the other side is doing to be able to compete. And so he uses his IQ knowing what a team is looking to do, and he's able to be in the right spot all the time on defense. He gets a lot of deflections. At some point in the season, he was leading the league in deflections. I don't know if that's still the case now, but I just feel like his appearance and his awkward movements just kind of get in the way of people realizing how good of a team defender he actually is. Partially because he's not out there guarding guards on the perimeter, and I think that's going back to what I was saying before about the bigs being more skilled or not more skilled now. It's just, it's prettier when you have a big getting out there guarding a point guard and keeping up with him. It's cool. It's a highlight. And the same thing with blocking shots. It's still like, it's a highlight, so you see it. But great team defense just doesn't get enough credit. And Nikola Jokic doesn't get enough credit for his ability as a team defender.
He's second on his team in steals. He's almost averaging a steal and a block per game. He's at 0.9 blocks per game right now. He's just incredible. You mentioned the deflections. Has gotten better moving laterally, and that's really the biggest key defensively as a big man. You got to be able to move laterally because you're going to see so many pick and rolls. Yeah. If you're either way, you're going to see a lot of pick and rolls. But if you can't move laterally, you're going to see even more. And he's just really high IQ player, and he gets a lot of steals, gets them on the break. One of the best outlet passers of all time. Oh, yeah. He had like back-to-back touchdowns the other night. That was